Welcome back everybody to Dan Has Fun with me, Daniel, doing more Advance Wars 2, Black Hole Rising. We have finally made it to the stodgy black hole missions on what looks like kind of a half fish on its side shape. I don't know, it's weird. Maybe it's kind of mushroom cloudy. I don't know. Tell me what you think that looks most like in terms of shape. Anyway, we have to go after the Black Hole Citadel. And we finally get to deal with our big, weird-faced big bad of the series. Well, for the first couple of games, spoiler. He disappears, and then, yeah, the other CEO's like, why are you commanding? Anyway, we're going to skip all that. We don't need to listen to them drivel on. Now, this mission, we're going to talk about in a moment. You get to pick your COs. You have to pick 3 of them. It's the same for the final mission, too. I guess, camera-wise, you should see 3. There you go. Beautiful. It actually really doesn't matter who you pick. So we're just going to pick some people that are a bit different. So even though Jess kind of sucks, we're going to put her in. I don't remember which way round they put the COs in. So we might be jump cutting in a second. But we're going to pick Jess. Just because Grit gets nerfed so horribly badly. Do we want to have him? Sure. And then on the other side, who do we not really see very much of? Because, honestly, the CO on the right-hand side is irrelevant. Sometimes if I'm playing this just casually, I'll just put Olaf on the right, because you never, ever see him. But, like I said, really, really doesn't matter. So, I guess we'll just put, I don't know. Who cares? It literally doesn't matter who we put on that side. They do not have much to do. Anyway, Mission 33, Hot Pursuit. And yes, we're at the Citadel. I don't care what they call it. Nor do I, Sammy, nor do I. Okay, perfect. It does put the first CO in the middle, so we don't have to jump cut. So, this mission, the only thing that matters is you have to take out the 3 black cannons. That is it. It does not matter if you kill any of his units whatsoever. Obviously, if you don't, your score will be terrible, but who cares? That's completely irrelevant. And you may have noticed one other piece. Most of the enemy's units are either behind pipes or behind this laser turret or cannon. I know they're both. It's nearly a laser turret. The AI will not break its own stuff. So every single unit here and all the way across here will not move. These guys can, because conveniently for them, the cannon on this side is not blocking them. So the only units you actually have to worry about are those 4, and then on each side there's a submarine, a battleship, and a cruiser. That is it. So this mission is pretty dull. So all we're going to do as Jess, we're just going to start off just by doing a bit of capturing and getting some more money. And then realistically, we're just going to build blocker units with her, get Grit to build some rockets so that he can start shooting away at the pipe seams and the cannons. And Sensei's just here. that's it. Well, let's get it into motion anyway. So we're going to get a couple of infantry. You can get a T-copter, but it's inconsequential. And at least the cannons on this mission are laid out in such a way that it's not that difficult to forget they exist. You just can't go down this road at the bottom vertically or this road vertically. I'll still probably get a unit chopped, because that's just how we work here. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's all we have to do for her turn. Grit and Sensei will at least have to deal with 3 naval units apiece. That's why it is very, very helpful to have Grit on one side, because its rocket has the same range as their battleship. So they will be dissuaded from coming towards you, put it that way. So we can spend 5,000 gold this turn and be able to afford a rocket the following turn. So we're just going to go for 2 regular infantry. And Sensei. He can at least be a little bit more dynamic, just because we can get an infantry onto this little island from the get-go. You just have to be careful, because it's very, very easy to get shot by accident, so this base is a no-go. But he can go over there and at least get some money that way. Realistically, all Sensei is going to do, once he takes out these 3 units, is probably just, you know, wander over, maybe with a unit or 2, just as blockers as well. He doesn't really have to do anything. I'm sure he's fine with that from a character perspective, but that is all he has to do, to the point where it's tempting to even just wait and let somebody else have that base, but somebody might as well use it. And we finally get to hear Sturm's music. I like it. It's pretty good. We'll talk about him more next turn. But I do enjoy his music. It fits him, I think, quite well as a character. Shame we don't see a huge amount of him in this game. We see a lot more of him in the original Advance Wars. So, how Sturm works is not really accurate based on his text. So, based on his text, it'll say, you know, all units have superior firepower, which is true. That is true. Movement cost is equal over all terrain types. You know that superpower that we mentioned with Lash that's really, really good? So, for example, her rockets, when a superpower's on, can go through forest 1-to-1. He does that by default, which is fantastic. So terrain is pretty much irrelevant to him. He still gets terrain bonuses, though. The defensive stars are still relevant to him. Weak in the snow. This is not true. He doesn't get any less strong in the snow. He just gets a movement penalty like everybody who isn't Olaf. He doesn't have a little power at all. Doesn't exist. His superpower, though, which does take 10 stars, so it is the most expensive power in the game, does 8 hit points of damage in an area the size of a missile silo, and increases his stats. Pretty nasty. It will, from what I'm aware of, the AI will fire its missile where it can do the most financial damage. So that's the other thing we're going to do with our blockers, is we're going to make a big stack of very expensive units, so that when, potentially, depending how we go about this mission, he gets a superpower, it will not matter to us. But yeah, he gets more of a power bonus than, say, Hawk does. So his units, they hurt. Not horrendously, like, you know, Kanbei's do more, but he doesn't have to pay more either. Not that it matters on this mission. He doesn't have any bases. Which is why this mission's kind of a joke, because you can just sit forever and you'll accumulate, but he'll never do it. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird mission, this one. I get it, but it's just not very fun. It's a bit like if, and I'm showing my age here, do you remember back when Dungeon Keeper was a thing? And what would end up happening is if you were on like a My Pet Dungeon in Dungeon Keeper 2, for example, and you just got access to the gem vein, you could just mine money forever, so there was never any rush to do anything. So you could just sit and just wait everybody out. It's the same here. Yeah, obviously your score would take a hemorrhaging, but again, who cares, right? Like we're not here to min-max. Oh well. So we might as well get this down. Let's make sure we don't get shot by this cruiser. That would be nice. Because remember, the shoal's not going to slow him down. Honestly, though, if our transport copter gets shot, it won't here. But even if it did, again, who cares? I don't know what the logic is where, you know, the transport copter takes damage, the unit inside doesn't. But it's always been the way. All we're going to really do this time is just, we're going to build a battle copter and just get rid of his cruiser. That's why I picked Sensei. I mean, all joking aside, it doesn't really matter what you pick. But at least he has one thing going for him, and that is that his battle copters will absolutely marmalize cruisers. Which they're really not meant to do, but his sure do. It is worth noting where his submarine is, though, just so we don't run into it by accident. Other than that, though, that was pretty standard. Are we going to have... Yeah, we can reach it, too. We'll deal with that when it's his turn. Anyway, we might as well start getting some money. We're going to get shot at by these cannons. So the actual capture on this is going to be very, very slow. But again, we're in no rush, so we're just going to let that happen and slowly accumulate. And we'll get our rockets slowly into position so we can deal with them. We'll get a second rocket, and we'll get another infantry out there so we can start adding towards it. And we'll just keep joining our infantry together. And end turn. Grit can slowly move his rockets. We don't want to stay on the road. So we're just going to meander this way. He doesn't have any way of taking out your headquarters. Like, he has no infantry on this map. Which I feel like is even for the standard difficulty, a bit of an oversight. Why doesn't he have a lander? Or like a couple of mechs with a lander over there? Or T-copters with infantry in them? Don't know. One of the mysteries of life. Anyway, we are going to get an APC ahead of time because we're going to need to keep refueling those rockets. The rockets are going to be doing all the work on this mission. Start getting that captured. Yeah, this isn't meant to happen, but because Sensei's battlecopters are so good, they can actually win one-on-one versus even Sturm's cruiser. That's not what's meant to happen. And we're just going to leave that there. Yeah, his battleship's going to shoot at us, but we don't really mind right now. It's just a blocker anyway. This is just distraction. I don't want them coming down and starting to shoot at any ground units I might have in this area. So it's purely distraction. Hence, we're going to get another battlecopter. Just keep doing Sensei things. Just off in his own world. I wish we could skip these cannon animations. I don't think that gets skipped even when you have all the visuals off. Yeah, they're just going to keep shooting away at us. So it's going to make our capture really, really slow. This will stop the battleship moving forwards because it's going to shoot at me. And I can just, bravely run away. This is going to hurt on the return, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, we're pretty much going to tie out. So that's awesome. Sub is to the left of the cruiser, which is good to know. The actual subs themselves, though, are going to do nothing. We're not going to be building battleships for a while, and you may also have noticed they don't have any APCs or ports, so the sub will just sink if you leave it alone long enough. Like I said, it's not a very well thought through mission at all. Well, I guess we'll go for that cannon first. Move this forward, because that can shoot the cannon next turn. Keep capturing anyway. Okay, do we want a third rocket, or do we want... No, we probably want to get an APC and another infantry. I'm sure there's a way more efficient way of doing this mission, but... It's one of those things where, yeah, I don't really think of things particularly innovative when you don't need to. This is such an incredibly easy mission, he says, as he probably put his rocket... Oh, no, I am right, one tile away. Right into the firing line. Yeah, this is such an easy mission that you never really have to be motivated to learn to do it any better. So you don't. We'll get another rocket because it's great. That's just what he would do. And Sensei. This unit is completely negligible now anyway, so you might as well just shoot at him and probably not do any damage. But, doesn't really matter. We'll take out the remainder of that cruiser. See you later. It's crazy to think he can pretty much get into one-shot range of a cruiser when he's using his superpower. And now that the battleship has been promptly distracted, we'll just put the infantry in it and run away for now. And then once the battlecopters have taken out the battleship, then you just go back and make some more money. Alright. Do we need to build anything else as Sensei at the moment? I don't think so. So we're just going to build nothing. Yay, cannons. What I will probably do to save you guys as viewers some hassle is... Oh, I've moved that rocket right into battleship range. Go me. What I'll do is I'll end up doing a bit of a jump cut. And we'll come back in like a few minutes' time just to kind of show you how things go. So, I will be back. And welcome back. Alright, so we didn't go that far ahead. We're still only on day 6. I could have skipped the cannons firing, but I know you guys love it so much. So, left it on for you anyway. And yeah, we're going to have our infantry continuing to be shot. Brought it back because he is pretty close to his superpower. So we're going to have to start manipulating it in a moment, just so you can kind of see what it looks like. We are intentionally... I actually took one shot at a sub. I kind of regret doing it, because it just gave him power for no reason. We're better off just letting the subs disappear by themselves. It's not Sensei's turn yet. Okay, let's get that captured. Continue capturing. We want to spread our rockets out a little bit. I can't go there for safety though, can I? Nope. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring back a rocket. Put that back. And then what we want to do, because this medium tank is worth more than a rocket, our plan later is we're going to be sending in medium tanks as blockers. But what we want to do for now is to try and cluster this away from what we already have. Like this, and we want to put another unit in here that he'll try and shoot at. Unfortunately, we're 200 gold short of getting another rocket. So what we're just going to do is get another APC and hope he shoots down here. This is the target I'm hoping he goes for. He might not, but that's the target we're going to try and make. You may also have noticed I have a fighter. Why? It costs more than 15,000, so when it goes in there, it will be the cannon shot. And we're going to end turn. I'm pretty sure we are going to inevitably trigger his superpower this turn. Yeah, he only has 1 star left, so we're going to. It's just inevitable. So what we're going to do is take out this battlecopter. I thought it was going to happen at least once this episode. That's not a battlecopter. It ain't flying. It's going nowhere. Yeah, he's at full charge now, so we might as well shoot this cruiser anyway, just to get it out of the way. He's sitting in our port, which is very rude of him, isn't it? It is kind of annoying, because it'd be nice to build a battleship and go up here and start wailing on his indirects. That's a good way of getting your power score up a bit. But, again, we're not worried about score right now. I also wonder if I move this here, he might be tempted to aim in that area as well, which would be nice. That would be good for us. That's a nice, cheap thing for him to do. So we would not complain. We might even wander an infantry for grit over there and see if we can get a hold of that location. Yes, there's no harm in trying. If I build another rocket here, he might shoot this area too. I don't think so. I think this is going to be the prime spot, but we'll see. I want to give him a couple of valid targets that I don't care what he aims at. The other nice reason for having Sensei in this mission is if we do end up getting his superpower, we can have just mechs everywhere, join them together for a load of money, and then use that to fund the blockers that we're, using. So there's that. Anyway. This battleship should now be gone. Unless we get a very poor luck roll, which we did not. So that's good. You won't let me join even though you're both low on ammunition, so that's sad. Might as well put that down, make some money. There's the submarine, which we don't need to worry about. Get another fighter. This battlecopter doesn't even need to move, it's on 2 hit points. So that's not going to be doing anything. And end turn. Alrighty, so we get to see the fun for the first time. It's pretty rude. 8 hit points is a staggering amount. And we shall not survive, apparently. Although his superpower actually cannot kill your units outright. Can't do it. Even if it hits a 1 hit point unit, it stays at 1 hit point. Yeah, and there we go. So he is aiming for the group that I made. Which I am perfectly okay with. No qualms with that whatsoever. An APC doesn't work any differently at 2 hit points. Okay, excellent. So that went about as well as we want. And we don't even have to build that many more APCs because we're playing as Jess. Alright, so now that we've seen the fun, I'm going to skip again. And we'll be right back once we have got rid of these cannons and we start getting things set up for a bit more excitement. Be right back. Welcome back again. Alright, so we're on now day 10. Cannons are still going to fire. I know. Cannons, you gotta love them. I honestly keep forgetting that the cannons are going to fire first. When I'm not recording, I'll fast forward through it, but needless to say, when it's in recording state, I don't do that, because it will sound like you're just having your ears destroyed. What I did do is, obviously I took out the first layer of cannons. We have no front-end cannons anymore. They're all gone. I did also blow up this pipe seam to see whether these guys would actually move forwards or not. And the answer appears to be no. So what we're going to do is we're going to blow up this pipe seam and see if they're any more inclined to go from there. Maybe they won't be, who knows. But I want to at least see what they do. Just because it will help, you know. If they would come forwards, it would be nice, because then we just blast them with all of Grit's cannons over here. But I'm not sure what they're going to do. So we're going to certainly find out in probably a day or two's time. Grit, meanwhile, you know, his rocket that I very stupidly let a battleship shoot at full strength is now back to full strength itself, so we're okay there. Really, the only challenge now is trying to take out this. It'd be nice to be able to take this out and then, you know, maybe get some power score if we wanted to from these guys, but it's not mandatory. The other thing, too, is that it doesn't actually matter how good Grit's range is. He cannot outrange one of these bigger cannons. It's just not happening. So, again, what we're going to do is we're going to wait a turn, see if our friend moves any of his units forwards. And if he does, great. We will be able to see some mashing and smashing. And if he doesn't, we'll put in another jump cut. So, we are going to now save to try and get a battleship for Grit after this, because that sub is going to die in 2 turns from lack of fuel. So that was the last rocket, hopefully, for him that we have to build. We also want to get... We have a couple of fighters and a bomber now, just to give something. There's some clout, just in case we end up breaking through. At least he'll have some units to work with. That transport copter can't do anything, so I just let it go and have a travel. Go have some fun. And I've got an APC, so the APC can fuel the other APC in case it runs out of fuel, because Advanced Wars logic. Anyway, let's see if he moves. And if he moves, great. If he doesn't move, we'll do the old jump cut again. Yeah, it's a shame. I haven't felt the need to really do any jump cuts in any mission up until this one, just because the last couple of missions in this game just... This one's not difficult, it's just tedious. The final mission we'll get into, obviously, more next video. It is a lot more interesting than this one, don't get me wrong, but it is a very, very long mission, so I've already made a decision that I'm just going to probably double speed it up, talk, you know, do like post-narration, and go at it that way. We'll probably just do it like that. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Anyway, he didn't move, so I'll be back again in a bit, I promise. We'll get there in the end. Okay, we're on day 16 now. Welcome back again. And I think we're pretty much at this point, we should have enough stuff just to be able to push forwards and complete this mission. I guess I'll just blow that up just while I'm at it. But yeah, what we want to do now is just run everything forwards. So we're going to take our medium tanks, our neo tanks. They'll shoot at the neo tanks first because they're worth the most, but it really doesn't matter what they go for. We also want to make sure we don't get into shredder range. So that'll be good there. Run our rockets up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's not going to reach either way. If you really want to, you can just about dodge the right cannon, but we're not going to worry about that. Honestly, it's more micromanaging and, you know, planning that needs to happen. I also built a fighter as Jess, just because, well, how often do you see that happen? We'll keep the infantry around just in case. They're never going to shoot, you know, using cannon fire at infantry because of their incredibly low financial value, but at least we can have them there. We'll get another medium tank just in case somehow, you know, the push fails. You never know. There we go. And then as Grit, we want to start wandering forwards. We already have a battleship. This terrain makes this a little bit frustrating because it means I have to move here. But at least it's something. Because what we want to do, we don't want to set his superpower off again if we can get, you know, if we can get away with it. Not unless we're on the verge of taking out all 3 cannons anyway. But we would like Grit to use his superpower. That +2 range on his battleships would be pretty helpful, and on these rockets in particular. Speaking of which, we need to get these to rush up, because these are the backbone of how we're going to do this mission. So we're pretty much going to use the battleship to shoot away at Sturm, get our superpower to fire, and then use our rocket's -2 range to kind of mash everything in front of them. And then we're going to be using Sensei as just protection. And because his units have such massive movement, they could come in here, but again, we don't want to do that. Weirdly, his front line here is all direct combat, so we don't actually have to worry about anything that they can throw at us, because they can't throw anything at us. So we can just keep rushing up with our expensive units. I'm not sure if the AI has a priority on going for a bomber over a Neo-tank or vice versa. I don't know. The battlecopter's worth less than the rockets, so they won't shoot at that, but it's fine. We're just bringing it along in case we end up having to bust a pipe seam, or maybe we get the chance to snipe a unit and get the experience. We don't need Sensei to use a superpower. Grit is really the only one where that would be a nice thing to have happen. For everybody else, it's inconsequential. So here comes the big hits. It went for the bomber first. That's good to know. So he shot all 3 of my bombers, which is actually extra awesome, because it means all of Jess's units are clear right now. So if they do actually retaliate, which they should, we will see. You gonna do anything? Do something. Please. Do anything. No, okay. That wasn't me slowing time down. That was the AI thinking, it's like, should I move these units? And it went to the consensus of no. Which is interesting. Anyway, it's fine. If we really wanted to, we could break down a pipe seam in the middle here and then just have some fun, but we don't need to at all. In the same way, we don't even need to take out this laser, and if you do, you get 2 rocket shots at you for free, so it's not worth doing either. So really, all we do is try and get in range. So for the cannon, for Jess, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they would have to be in the slice and dice zone. Everybody else doesn't, though. So Grit can fire, say, from this gap and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you could go from here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're safe there. So all we have to do realistically is sacrifice our Neo-tanks. So we're going to put... and our fighter, I guess, too. Our fighter would work for this as well. Do the cannons... do the lasers do 5 or 3? I think they do 5 damage. So if they did that, it would mean a fighter at 5 health, it can knock down to 1. So 40% of a fighter's value is 8,000. That's still more than 50% of a rocket. That would be 7,500. So theoretically, the AI should still shoot at a 5 hit point fighter instead of a 10 hit point rocket. Quick maths. We'll see if it does it or not, or if I'm just showing up to be an idiot. Because what that means is I can just put the fighters in here, and as long as I have 3 fighters in the fray, which conveniently I have, then I don't even have to get the tanks involved. Like, the tanks can just sit in place. The only cannon that's going to be a bit annoying is the middle one, because, well, there's a pipe there, right? So Grit would have to move a rocket there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's going to take a bit of time because, well, you know, the movement on the roads is great, but the movement on the plains is pants. So it's going to take him a couple of turns to get there. But we can take out the 2 cannons left and right pretty easily, I would say. Especially the left cannon. We're concentrating on the left cannon first, as you may have been able to tell by the fact all Grit's rockets are on the left. So no, we should still be good. So we don't actually have to put in these guys. I'm still tempted to do it anyway, but we don't need multiple distractions, that's fine. Yeah, if we can get Grit's rocket here, that will be fine too. So we have a couple of places for Grit's rockets to go. We can have one here, a couple there, and then we can deal with the right cannon afterwards. Okay. Alright, we have a plan. So for now, we're just going to move all of our Neo tanks kind of out of the way to the right-hand side. Slowly start moving these guys over here as well. Maybe we'll attempt some of Stern's units to come out and play. That would be fun, wouldn't it? But we'll see. We'll see. Get these out of the way. We'll start moving Jess's rockets, I guess, over to the right-hand side. They might as well do something. Like that, and she can build... I actually want her to build another fighter, as weird as it sounds, because it will be getting into the fray more quickly. Okay, we're on day 17, so I was right before. Okay, Grit. You can't do anything really of any use from this location, at least not yet, so we're just going to move forwards. And then next turn you'll start being able to do damage to actual units that will matter, and then your CO power bar will go up, and we'll have a second battleship to help. Perfect. So this would work out pretty well. That's how we're going to get the middle, the middle and the right cannon a bit easier too. So this guy needs to be 1 tile forwards, but he can actually reach 2 tiles forwards, so we're going to do it. Get 2 forwards, get that as a backup. We want to start moving these rockets in this direction. Like that. That can go there. Resupply. It doesn't need to do anything else. Beautiful. And then Sensei has more money than sense, but there's absolutely no need for him to do anything right now. So all we have to do is place... Actually, do we even need to put his fighters in the firing line? They'll still shoot at it. Really, the only reason why we would want to is if we want to get out of the way. And conveniently, that middle cannon can reach me there anyway. Okay, so we can do this pretty safely. Combine those 2 bombers up and he'll shoot at that again as well. So let's do that. Actually, they'd shoot at them anyway. So yeah, let me just get those bombers also out of the way. Yeah, the maths works out pretty well for this entire scenario. There we go. We don't even need to spend any money with him. It's fine. We don't even need to capture that. It's okay. Don't need the base on the right. It's going to start shooting at these Neo tanks, which we don't mind. Took a shot at the fighter. That's okay. Basically, as long as we have 3 units that takes more money damage from being shot at than the rockets at full health, doesn't really matter. And we have plenty. The medium tanks, though, when they get to full health, they wouldn't be quite enough, because they would be, what, 1,600 per 10th, so that would be 6,400, so you don't get to the 7,500 of a 5 hit point rocket damage. So that is something just to keep in mind. But we can still leave the fighter in place. That's still perfectly okay. And we can still leave these guys in the firing line as well if we want to. So leave them be for now. Only thing I possibly think of is we probably want to move this back, because once it gets hit by the laser, it would not have enough hit points to justify attacking. Can we reach... I don't think we would, so I'm going to put that there and join them together, so it'll take 2 shots. So that's perfect. And then we want to slowly start maneuvering rockets over towards the right-hand side, like that. If we went to attack that cannon with our medium tanks, we would get shot at, so we're not going to do that. And let's get this fighter up there as well, so it has another target to shoot. And get another fighter. It's a weird mission when you know, when Jesse is shooting out lots and lots of air units, it's a weird mission, but that's just how this one goes. Get that into place. Now we can start shooting away. We don't need to shoot the pipe seam. We can just keep firing away at Sturm's left flank. It actually doesn't matter what we shoot at. But that will do more cost damage, and that's how the system calculates, how much star power you should get. This cannon is gone. It's a 2-tap, so that's nice and easy. This one we're not quite in range of yet, but next turn we will be. Like that. And then Grit can start sending his other 2 rockets over to help Jess on the right-hand side cannon. And he doesn't need to build anything else. Nothing else will be able to reach in time anyway, so... That's absolutely A-okay. And we're just going to join those up because we can. Doesn't have to really do anything else to Sensei. Like I said, this is another mission where if you wanted to, you could just have the... You could have the person on the right-hand side of the map do nothing. Honestly, you could just do this entire map with the CO in the middle. It's really, really easy, to the point of just... It's just not a fun mission. This is not a fun mission to do. Not at all. I guess while we're waiting for these cannons to fire again, I'm trying to think what I might do actually after this series is over, because, you know, the actual regular run-through of Advance Wars, there's only one mission after this. Last mission is next episode. So I'm trying to work out what we should do. I know we're doing Europa Universalis 4 at the moment. We might just keep playing that on the Wednesday and the Saturday, because it's going to be quite a long series. But if there are any games that come to mind, definitely let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'm super interested to see what people think, kind of what flavour, you know, of game people are really into. Put it this way, you're not really likely to see me play a first-person shooter on this channel, but you never know. You never know. I tend to play more of what we call the dad games, right? The thoughtful games where you can have a casual conversation where it seems that I talk about food half the time. Sandwiches in particular, for some reason, or like pasta bake. But yeah, honestly, I'm pretty game to have a look at anything. I think now is a good time to take this cannon out. Just get that out of the way. It seems that these guys don't want to move towards me anyway. I'm not sure why. It's been a while since I played this mission. So I don't know if that's standard behavior or if the AI is just like, wow, too many units, no thank you, and then just doesn't do anything. I really don't know. Do not know. Anyway, we can at least get these medium tanks in here now and out of the way. We don't want Jess's rockets to get in the way of Grit's though, so I'm just treading a little bit carefully. I think we're pretty good there. Yeah, I'm going to leave these medium tanks out here. They don't have to do anything. They have no purpose at this point. So we're just going to leave this fighter so it can get shot. And end turn. Okay, Grit. +2 range this turn. How useful would you be? Actually, not very. But we can take out the central cannon this turn, which is nice. So next turn, if we end up with a better scenario to use that, we will. Actually, if I go from here, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't even really need it then either, but next turn we can win. That's what it boils down to. So what we're going to do is try and tempt the AI to come down with a unit. So I'm probably going to put like the battle copter. Well, maybe I'll put the... If I put the fighter there, it won't come and attack me. I'd like to take in a unit where it would actually be tempted to come after me. Maybe I'll just sacrifice Sensei's APC. Because it would be nice to actually get... you know, it doesn't really matter, but it'd be nice to have a score that doesn't completely suck, right? Might as well at least try to play the game in the way the game wants you to. He does have his superpower available now. I'm going to turn the visuals off. We're just going to soften everything up this turn so that next turn, before we win with Grit, we can try and do as much damage as we can in one go. I don't know if it counts the power score based on the turn or the actual day number. If anybody knows that, let me know, because I actually have no idea how it calculates that. Not a clue. I shouldn't be able to kill that then. Oh, I did. Your range was too good, Grit. Too good. Well, there's nothing else he needs to do this turn. I was hoping to leave that on like 1 hit point so it'd be an easy kill next turn, but apparently I was too good at killing things. So yes, I want to put that here, tempt them into trying to, come and kill this unit, which they will. They will definitely kill that unit. There's like no doubt about it. And honestly, Sensei's not going to move next turn, so it's going to be completely irrelevant. So I guess all we can do, realistically, is just shoot that, in case somebody wants to take a shot at that as well. Actually, can I take that out with this? I can. I'm going to see if I can get some of the units to move. That would be nice. It'd make it easy to kill a few of them and get a better power score. Might be sacrificing our technique score slightly, but we built so many units it won't matter. Yep, there we go. Bye, bomber. Bye, fighter. Other bomber's completely fine. And he's not going to get to 10 stars. It's just not going to happen. But at least, yeah, now we've got some units actually moving. It feels like I finally antagonized him enough into actually doing something. It feels like he's actually trying to defend things now. What a novel concept. Anyway, these rockets can't really do anything except fire away at these guys. Just take some shots. That would have been nice to have taken out in one hit, but not quite. Same there. This guy can't reach anything, right? Nope. Can we kill this one? Not quite. But I'm sure we'll be able to with the rocket on Grit's turn, so that's fine. Take that out. And then we can end our turn. And Grit's going to do the final coup de grace. And we might as well use his superpower while we're at it. So yeah, this is not a difficult mission. If there was a timer on it, it would have made a lot more sense. But it weirdly has no timer whatsoever. You can spend an infinite amount of time doing this mission. And I don't understand why. I don't get it. Honestly, we're better off just taking out these wimpy units. It doesn't actually matter what the health is. A dead unit is a dead unit. See you later. There's so many units to target that I'm actually having a hard time picking the right one. Like that. That one's gone. I don't think it actually matters which one I hit there, because we have to spend both of these to take out the cannon. And there we go. The black cannons have been destroyed. And then it asks, yeah, did you leak intel? Yes, they did. They apparently let a soldier be captured. And that is how they all conveniently end up where the final mission is. It's about as good as Advance Wars writing gets. So enjoy that. And then, yeah, the plans, they're just going to launch missiles across all the worlds. The Viking went back down. Somehow, that's a 300 rank S. Who knows? No idea. Anyway, I know this was a very stop-start episode. You'll notice I actually spent some points last time. I did the thing about third time after I said I was going to do it. So yeah, so if you did enjoy the video, I know it was a bit stop-start because you didn't want to watch like an hour and a half of that, I can assure you. We just went for the highlights. If you did enjoy it, let me know. Like and subscribe if you want to. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day. Appreciate it. Take care now.